you doing? This is another episode of Naturalist F. I'm your host, Dr. Ferrante Frazier. I've been teaching natural hygiene for quite a while now, and we've been exposing a lot of people to the natural ways of health, how to heal the body without the use of medicines, without the use of herbs. We're teaching them the foundations of how the body works, or the laws that govern their body. We're going to hear in later on in our teachings that there is only one true cause of disease. Now, you've been hearing us say innervation and toxemia is the cause of disease, but that's actually the actual effect. Toxemia and innervation. Innervation meaning low vitality, low functioning power, fatigue, whatever you want to call it, weakening or whatever. But toxemia is poison blood. So when your body become weak and poisons build up in your blood, your body starts suffering. Well, what causes that? Innervation is not the cause of it. What causes the innervation? What causes the toxemia? And what causes that is the breaking of the laws of life. You're in violation of the laws that govern your being. You're not breathing the right air. You're not eating the right food. You're not drinking the right drink, and so on. Hey, Miss Michaela, how are you doing today?
Hi, Dr. Frazier. I am well. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. I was just
Good.
going over with our listeners. First of all, thank you for showing up. We missed you last week. They were asking about our minister. Where was our minister of health?
Oh my.
Told them you was probably, getting some rest or something like that. Did you try the pineapple?
I did.
So you ate that
I
lady
only,
pineapple?
I had one pineapple, Dr. Frazier. Yes, I did. I had one.
Oh, okay. So you ate that lady pineapple.
I ate the whole pineapple too. Yes, sir. Not
You see
the,
what I'm saying?
everything.
I did the same thing too today, and I usually don't eat a whole pineapple either. I usually get
Mhm.
tired of it about halfway, but that pineapple, I've been eating the whole one, you know.
Yes, sir. It was really, really good. It really was.
Yeah, they are amazing.
Mm.
Well, this show, I know you remember reading in the literature when we did the Obamacare versus ImmaCare system.
Okay.
All right. So that's what the topic of this show is about today. It's all about how we have to get out of the Obamacare system and get into the ImmaCare for myself system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obamacare only going to help address symptoms, palliate symptoms, suppress symptoms, get you treatments. It's Obamacare has nothing to do, and I'm not just talking about Obamacare itself. I'm just saying that's what most people know is governmental care. You know, so a lot of people are getting on these and they're saying, "Oh, this is a good insurance plan or whatever policies to help with health," but it's not because it doesn't address cause. It doesn't address eating properly. It doesn't address regular exercise. It doesn't address nurturing relationships. It doesn't address the ways of health or the principle of health that we've been advocating in natural hygiene since we started this thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the ImmaCare system is the only sane care plan that can actually help an individual reverse their symptoms of disease when they're suffering from it and then prevent it that they don't never get disease. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Um, and I like that you say Obamacare versus Obamacare, but any care, Medicare, um,
Yeah.
any type of um, health care system that we have this established and set up right now, it does not address cause. But then, of course, that is for a reason.
And this is true. We were talking where we was distinguishing between medicine and hygiene.
Mm.
I tell a lot of our listeners that we are hygienists. We are upright individuals. We teach upright health. We don't get into the hocus pocus. And I was telling them the causes, the stages of disease. If you remember the 7 stages of disease being innervation all the way to mutation and degeneration, which is cancer. So you got the 7 stages of disease. You go from innervation, toxemia, you go to irritation, to inflammation, then you go to ulceration, induration, and then, you know, degeneration. That's cancer, in other words. So, what I was showing them, the earlier hygienists saw that even there was a step before even innervation. There was a step that brought on innervation, which was defiance of the laws of nature or violation of the laws of nature when you didn't eat right, when you didn't drink right, when you didn't breathe right, fresh air, and didn't go out into the sun and get sunlight, and you hide in caves, cover your body up and all type of stuff, neglect and abuse your body in any fashion or form. Your body goes into a secondary cause. The primary cause is violation. The secondary cause is the actual toxemia and innervation,
Innovation.
which brings on an effect. Now that effect, the secondary effect would be where your body actually, reacting to the danger of the toxemia, the poisons that's inside of it and stuff like that. And that's when we start seeing the inflammation, ulceration, and all the other so-called stages go on, because the body is responding. That's what disease is, according to the medical definition of disease. That disease is your body actually eliminating something, but they're trying to fight that elimination. So we don't fight disease. We let disease run a course. So when I tell them medicine teaches that disease is inevitable. Now, we don't teach that you're going to get diabetes, you're going to get high blood pressure, you're going to get rosacea, or whatever those so-called other, whatever these diseases you see on the
Mm-hmm.
television, you know, commercials after Maury and People's Court, Judge Mathis and stuff like that. They come up there. Have you been suffering? You're going to eventually suffer from this. You might as well go ahead and get treatment for it now. Get these serum poisonings and inoculations to prevent you from ever even getting these sicknesses. So they're saying that disease is inevitable. What do you think about that?
Um, it's a matter of faith, Dr. Frazier, is the way that I see it. It's about what you believe. And if you believe that your health is generated or degenerated by your own habits, then it's up to you. You get to say, I'm not going to have these things. But if you believe that, what most people believe is that with age comes the degeneration of the body and the diseases that come with age, if that is what your belief is, and if your belief is that when I am ill, then I seek some type of treatment that is outside myself, then there is the inevitability of disease. But that is totally steeped in belief. And I don't want to take the show in a different
Oh, you're
direction,
good. You're good.
but I in talking to people about natural health, and not just natural health, but health period, and being in control of their own health, when they ask me, well, what's the first thing that I need to do? The first thing that we have to do is be honest. The first thing that we have to do is tell the truth. you know Tell the truth about what your habits are. Tell the truth about what it is that you know and don't know. Tell the truth about what it is that you believe and don't believe, and get to the why do you believe that. Okay, and then talk about, well, you believe that if you have um, a runny nose, and or stuffy nose and congestion and you're coughing and your or things like that, then there is a remedy for that. And you believe that because if you believe that that's caused by a germ and now your body is behaving in these ways and there is this drug that can stop that thing from happening to you. If you believe that, then you're susceptible to continuing in that cycle and repeat that for other things, more egregious things or more serious things that might happen in your body. But if you understand and know that your nose is clogged or your nose is running or you're coughing because there is something that is inside you that your body is trying to eliminate and it is helping you to get those toxins out of your system, then you're more inclined to do things like rest or go out into the sun and get sun and fresh air in and on the body. You're more inclined to say, okay, this is something that I have caused or something that I have gotten into, and I have to change this and be responsible for it. Honest with yourself about your responsibility in your health and well-being, and then honest about what the next step is beyond that. If you won't tell the truth and say I have caused this, then you're also looking for something outside of yourself to
Mhm.
then fix it or cure it or take care of it. But until we're ready to have an open and honest conversation as individuals about why we're sick and how we get sick, what sickness really is, or what people think sickness is. When you say dis-ease, anything that takes your ease away, anything that's taking your comfort away, when we're honest about the fact that you have to look in the mirror about what's really going on with your body, then you can have metered results. Sometimes it feels like instant results, but you first got to get past the barrier of what it is that you believe.
It's the medical mindset, we call it. That belief is the medical mindset. So much medical dogma has been downloaded into people's mind over the years through television, through shows, through people, and that's all they wish to believe. They don't really see the hygienic lifestyle of what we're teaching them about how the body is a self-healing organism, and that disease is really no more than your body ridding itself of poison. So we see that, and you actually answered that the next line in here already in your talking, which hygiene teaches that health is man's natural state. Hygiene don't talk about disease really. That's the
Right,
medical man is only concentrated in studying disease. Natural hygiene teaches what is health. We talk about
right,
what health is, because the average individual don't know what health is. So when they're looking in the mirror, what are they looking at? You know what I'm saying? Are they looking at what somebody else told them? They don't really know the conditions for health. They don't know what is required for the human body because they are been bamboozled with a bunch of medical dogma or the healing art. The curing mongers have gotten to them, so they don't believe that their conditions are is what well say is what is resulting in their so-called discomforts and in health issues in their life. So I I, I think the first thing is in the Bible it tells you how can they be saved unless there be someone sent, and how can they be sent unless they've been called. And then it went on to tell them that they have to be able to hear. And once they hear it, then they can accept the teachings that is being offered. But somebody got to come and bring it to them, because obviously it's a world of darkness when it comes to health. And I'm just speaking, kind of holistically here. The average person is lacking knowledge of what health is. They don't know what type of water to drink. That's why so many people benefiting off of spring water, alkaline water, these other so-called miraculous healing waters and stuff like that. Because the average person don't know that their body should only be ingesting pure, clean, distilled water. So if they don't know when, that, these people who used to drinking straight out the faucet with all the chemical poisons in the municipal water. So when somebody come and say, hey, I healed myself by drinking spring water. Yeah, spring water is better than that faucet water. So yeah, a person may start feeling a little better when they drink some spring water because it's cleaner than the water coming out of your faucet.
Right.
So now the spring water is going to be hailed some type of cure, when in fact you're just less poisoning yourself with the spring water than you are with the faucet water. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, there's all good, better, best.
Right.
There's good, better, and best. And distilled water is going to be the best if you're going to drink. If you're going to be drinking water, then distilled water is going to be the best water for you to drink. Once you put anything in water, and this is what I tell people all the time, if there's anything in your water, it's not water.
Right. Supposed to be just H2O, right?
That's right. That's right. So if there's anything else in it other than water, and you can't make water better water or more water than it is,
Right.
enhancement of water of any type changes it from water to then something else.
Some concoction, some solution. It's got poison in it now. It got some type of uh, soluble waste in it, in other words.
Right.
And the body must clean that up. All right, so the next thing, medicine teaches that disease is a destructive process, but hygiene teaches that disease is a remedial effort of the body. You see the two contrasts? That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to give the medical mindset, and then I'm going to give the hygienic concept. And you can see that they're not in agreement with each other nowhere around the board. That's why
So
we disagree on everything.
absolutely everything. Now,
That's right.
the medical mentality says that disease is what, Dr. Frazier?
That it is a destructive process. Disease come to tear your body down and kill you.
Oh,
And we
wow.
must fight it and battle it.
Oh my. Okay.
We have to get
That's
to this thing before it kills you.
right. Right. That's so simple and yet so harsh if the medical mentality believes that disease is something to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when we know and understand that disease is cure.
Right. It's a
Uh,
friend, not a foe.
right. It's a friend. It's not something to fight. It's a place to allow. But and we're talking in simple terms. So I don't want to get beyond where we are because I just always think about just the way that we think about disease.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even consider disease until it has gotten to such a point and to such a place where it's almost debilitating or it's stopping us from doing something, even if that's just, walking up the stairs like I used to, or going, doing this amount of physical labor before I'm now winded or tired
I'm
or
gonna tell you
sweating. Or,
what men is gonna be sex. When they can't get that thing up to have sex, then something going
right.
wrong.
Then there's something wrong. There's always that huge red flag. Um, I have to quote Whitney Houston. I believe the children are our future, so we have to teach them well and let them lead the way. And even saying that, you were talking about health. You remember we used to have health class in school, and I remember in health class it talked about fresh air and sunshine, getting and a diet. But the diet that even health class teaches is the standard American diet. So the children are not getting it there. They're not getting it in school. You can't expect school to teach health. And if we pay attention, our bodies will teach us health. If we really pay close attention to the body, it'll tell you, what it needs.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So medicine teaches that disease are to be cured, whereas hygiene teaches that they are to be permitted to accomplish their work. Can you give us an example of the medical want to cure a certain symptom, whereas the hygiene teaches to let that run its course?
I can tell you, um, let's see, something in particular. Um, Asthma and all of those respiratory conditions, where we want to take something again to decongest, clear the lungs. You know that they got that thing now that you pump it and suck whatever that medication is out of that thing. You shake it and then
Yeah, yeah.
squeeze it and pump it to open the lungs up. Um, I can't think of anything that is not supposed to run its course. Fever. I know we spoke about fever the last time that I was able to make it on the show. We talked about my son and his fever and allowing it to run its course because fever is a friend. Fever is not a foe. You don't want to bring the fever down. You want the fever to uh, run its course. Again, Dr. Frazier, I'm not real comfortable um, advising our watchers and our listeners in that way because even at that, um, everybody is different. So with my teenage son, he gets a fever and I can say, oh, okay, yeah, your room must be nasty. You know what I mean? Let me get in here and clean this room and you take shower and let's give you a clean environment in here because that's where he spends most of his time. And understanding that that's what's going on with him, cleaning that room and then fever gone, you know. Without any type of medication. I even encouraged him to get away from the thermometer because it's just a scare tactic. You know, if your
Yeah.
fever is so bad that you need medical attention, you know what I mean, you'll pass out. I'll know. I will know when you convulse and that fever's too high. Other than that,
Body never goes into no type of thing like that unless it's been really poisoned. You know, if
and
the poison is manageable, the body is just going to work at a level to free
and
itself of that waste. Now, if you go congest some violent poison that's about to kill you, within seconds, then yes, even though drugs going to help correct that, more poison on
no,
top of poison, that's
no,
not going to
no,
help.
no drug will help that. And in saying that to you, I recognize the medical mentality in me because I see my son, he's suffering, right? He's got this fever. He's got a headache. He's hot, he's cold, his body's not regulating its temperature, right? His internal thermostat is not behaving properly.
Hmm.
And I'm saying to him, you just need to rest. And are you thirsty? No, I'm not thirsty. Okay, because the only thing I'm going to that you have at this point is distilled waters because it's not gonna cause your body to act on it.
Hmm.
So the only thing that we're going to do is rest. We're going to be quiet. We're going to be in the dark. We're going to get a good temperature in here, and then we're just going to wait this fever out. But even in telling you that, my thought is, unless you're in convulsions, then the fever's not too high. But then when you get to convulsions, what are we doing at that point? And I've never seen that. We're told that there's a point that a fever can get so high that a fever will kill you. But how many of us know anybody who a fever has killed them? And
Just when
even if
they
the
start
fever,
taking
and even if,
medications and other poisons came in about that we seen that it may be destructive.
well, that, and if the fever got so high that it caused death, was it the fever?
No, it's never the
You
fever.
know, it's not the
Right, it's
fever,
never the fever. It's
Right,
not the
right,
body activity. So, number 4 it said medicine teaches that poison are the proper thing with which to cure disease. Hygiene teaches that the normal things of life are the proper substances and influences with which to build health. You need
right.
me to say that again?
So, yeah, one more time.
So the medical establishment believed that the only way to cure disease is in treatment, drugs,
Okay. Right,
therapy,
Joe.
the knife. Whereas in
Uh-huh.
hygiene, believed that the only cure for sicknesses is the natural requirements of nature: fresh air, sunlight, water, ideal relationship, normal temperature, regular exercise, rest and relaxation. All the normal things that are keeping a healthy man healthy are the things that are required for a sick man to regain health. Matter of fact, his disobedience to those things is what causes sickness. And for him
Um,
to return back will get him back healthy.
and I'm laughing because it's a matter of reversal at that point,
Yes. Yes.
And again, being honest, how did you get here? And you are so unhealthy. This thing that you see this happening to you that has caused you to reach out for some medicine or some therapy or whatever. There's so many other things that have gone on in your body, and your body has fought so, and you didn't even know it before you got to this point. It is so difficult, and I apologize, Dr. Frazier. I just have to keep going there. It's just so difficult for the mindset to even understand, hey, sit down, turn the TV off. That doesn't sound like health. Sit down, turn the TV off, inhale through your nose and out through your mouth. Get in a dark, quiet place and concentrate on your breathing as a first to anything that's ailing you. you know it just does not, it boggles the mind that it could be so simple as that.
So you telling me that medicine that teaches drugs act on the body is not correct, and hygiene that teaches that the living organism acts on the drugs is incorrect?
The ideal diet for a human body is fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds. And the reason that I go to the diet is because these are things that we're putting in our body. So if you're going to swallow a pill, if it's not fruit, vegetable, nut, or seed, then you shouldn't put it in your mouth.
So, but let me ask you, where they can get a proper understanding of this mentality. Medicine teaches that drugs act on the body. So when you take a diuretic, it makes you go to the bathroom and urinate. Or if you take a laxative, does the laxative make you go to the bathroom, or does the body goes to the bathroom to get rid of the laxative? See, those two
Well,
different understandings.
the body is acting on whatever you put in it or on it. It is always going to seek to redeem itself from
Yes,
whatever the thing is that we're doing to it.
yes.
So if you put poison in your body, and it's poison, believe that it's poison. It was created in a lab somewhere. You have no idea what's in it, where it's been, how long it's been there, or even what it is. You just trust and believe that because they said that it's gonna bring you some relief, then you take it. But that
Let's,
is
let's give this example to help people. I'm going to say two things really quick to help, unlock their understanding really quick. Let's say that you were dust get up in your nose. What does the dust make you sneeze, or does the body sneeze to get the dust out?
the body sneezes to get the dust out.
All right. So if you put dust in a dead man's nose, what does it do to him? Will
It's
he
it
sneeze
just
the dust out?
it just sit there and collect more dust. No,
If you
dead men
give a
tell
dead
me
man a laxative, will he have a bowel movement?
he will not.
So it's not the medicine that has power. The power is in the
In the
living
body.
organism that has vital power to act
It's in
on
the
the drug.
living body. Yes.
Yeah. So that's just to help unlock their understanding real quick. It's
Okay.
it's the it's the living organism that has the power. All these drugs and pills and potions and remedies that they use, those are inert. They're dead, lifeless substances that the
Hmm.
body must neutralize and repel. You know,
Hmm.
in the case of diarrhea, a laxative, and you getting diarrhea, yeah, you have a bowel movement because the body is seeing that laxative poison as so virulent that if it allow it to stay in your system, it will may cause you death. So it
Right.
early puts it out of the system via the colon, and you deem the laxative work.
And just to clarify, we're talking about constipation and not diarrhea. So if you're constipated, you take the laxative and you think that the laxative worked. You know, the laxative was poison and your body had to get everything out that was in your body before that laxative came in order to get that laxative out of your body because it
Boom.
is so toxic to your system. Yes.
But the laxative get the praise, and the body is say, "Oh, you terrible body, you got to tighten up."
Or loosen up.
Right? Yeah, loosen up. That's more a proper word. Medicine teaches that drugs cure disease, and hygiene teaches that drugs occasion disease. And that's just what we were talking about. So that's still in the same lines. I think we just got a little bit ahead of ourselves. You know, the laxative, it doesn't cure
Right.
constipation, but it causes diarrhea. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
Now, imagine if you go to the doctor complaining that you have diarrhea, he gives you something to constipate you. And
Mm-hmm.
if you go to him complaining
And
about
then,
constipation, he gives you something to cause diarrhea.
mm-hmm.
So all
Mm-hmm.
his drugs are to create the very symptoms of disease themselves. So how can they be a curing mechanism? All right.
And I know that we're talking about drugs and the medical mentality, but this is applicable to um, your grandmama giving you starch when
Mhm.
you got diarrhea and giving you in all of um, our own ways to heal, all of our own healing remedies, grandma's remedies for things. They are still things that are causing that you're going to put into the body and cause the body to then act on that thing, just as your body would act on any other poison that you're putting in it, because it's all going to be poison. Even when you put natural things together, when you mix things in improper combinations and then put them into your body, you cause the body then to have to react and act on those things in order to eliminate what you put in it, albeit herb or vitamin.
Well, we're going to come back in just a minute. We're going to take a brief intermission. But when we come back, we're going to talk about how the medicine holds that disease are caused by germs, bacteria, and parasites, when hygiene actually believe that the violation of laws of nature is the cause of disease, and that the germs and the bacteria is nothing but a effect of decomposition of poisons in your body. The germs are actually there to heal you, but you're fighting to get rid of them. But we're going to talk about that when we come back from this break. We're going to go to break and we'll be right back.
All right.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st, for Magistrate.
All right, we're back. Thank you for tuning back into Natural as F. You can find our show every Tuesday at 6 o'clock here live on Our Black Media. We want to thank the platform for allowing us to bring our teachings of holistic health to the masses of people on the platform. We thank you for always coming through and checking out our information. Hopefully, it can help you or your loved ones or family members correct and reverse their issues, provided you follow and be disciplined to the teachings that we are presenting here on this show. You can find it on Facebook. You can find it at on YouTube under Our Black Media. Make sure you hit like, share, and follow us where you can see all the upcoming shows, and you can even watch some of the old shows that we did previously to this one. If you're looking for me personally and you got health issues that you want to start working on and really dig down into finding out how to reverse your health issues, you can always go to us and contact us at heal.me/FF. That'll tell you a lot about what we have going on in the community, some of the services that we offer, and how to get in contact with us where we can start working towards regaining your health and your vitality. So before we left, Michaela, we see a lot of people are chiming in and putting statements in there. We're glad that you are saying stuff. We thank you so much. If we're not catching any of your statements with questions, anything like that, please email us at savannahnaturalhealth@gmail.com, and we'll address them and email you back if we can assist you. I'm pretty sure we can. So, but before we left, Michaela, we were talking about the so-called germ theory of Louis Pasteur, but in medical science, they believe in the germ theory. They believe that the cause of disease is caused by a germ. Now, in the hygienic mentality, we believe that disease is caused by a violation of the laws of life, right? So that's a big jump there, because one believe that they can inoculate you, because we can't use certain words up here because we won't be able to be on certain platforms. So we got to be careful what words we use up here. We're being, kind of muffled on what we say. But we can't use the V word, So these, we get inoculated with serum poisoning to prevent disease. I can bypass that word. So we use these ingested needle-like poisons that we inject in our bodies, and to prevent us from getting sick from drinking alcohol. We can inoculate ourselves from, getting lung cancer from, air polluted. We can stop our head from hurting by being inoculated with Tylenol. We can, stop all the ills and prevent our bodies with the use of some specific preventive drug. That's the medical mindset. Now, the hygienic mindset don't believe that. We believe that the only prevention is rightful lifestyle. Now, what is a rightful lifestyle according to natural hygiene?
Rightful lifestyle is the 10 laws of health, or the 10 ways of health. That would include, and Dr. Fraser, you have to catch me up. So that includes the ideal diet, pure water.
What is the ideal diet, though, for our listeners, if they didn't know what the ideal diet was?
The ideal diet for the human body is fruits, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds.
Can it be cooked?
Not if it not if it's to be ideal.
Right. Could it be processed? Could it be seasoned? Could it be, had add a little preservatives to it and stuff like that?
Not if it's to be ideal.
I know Victoria Bidwell say she wouldn't even wash her fruit, but she was getting it naturally grown. She wasn't getting it from these conventionally grown places with a bunch of sprays. But she said when she ate fruit straight from the tree and grapes and berries straight from the vine, she was her healthiest. She even
Mhm.
had energy beyond compare. Even in our teachings, we talk about you get most of your B12 and stuff like that from unwashed fruits and vegetables that still have a little of the soil dirt, cobwebs and stuff on it and stuff like that. When we were young, that's what we used to do: go run around and just pick from the tree and eat right there, you know. But now we're so hygienically clean now, you know what I'm saying? We scrub in our fruits and vegetables with vinegar and apple cider and all these different so-called stuff we're supposed to be cleaning and scrubbing our fruits with, and we just don't know that we're actually denaturing the foods that we're not going to get the main benefits from it. So, what do you think about that?
About washing your fruits and vegetables?
Well, the ideal diet being, the most ideal with it's not being even washed and stuff like
Well, the most ideal. I'm reminded of you were teaching a class one day at a community center, and one of the ladies, y'all were kind of going back and forth about cabbage, if I'm not mistaken. And you came to the point where you told her that the best cabbage, is the one that you grow yourself and you don't pick it. You go out there and get down on your knees and take a bite out of it right
that.
there in
That's
the
natural as
garden.
health. That's natural as health.
Right. Right. You grow it yourself and don't even pick it. Just go out there and bite it.
Mhm.
Um, which is ideal for the body. It is what the body needs and what the body requires and what would be most preferred for the body, but it's not ideal for our lifestyles. And again, it still goes back to what we believe we can and cannot do,
Mhm.
what we believe is reachable and what we believe is unobtainable. I think that if you've got an apple tree or you've got an orange tree or you're growing your own food, um, that it's not necessary, especially if you're eating it right now. It ain't necessary for you to soak it in apple cider vinegar and rinse
Mhm.
it twice, and all of that stuff if you're growing it yourself. But there's good, better, and best, like we were talking about earlier. And if you bought it from the grocery store, I mean, I got apples from um, we'll say a big box store, since we're being cautious about the words that we use or things that we say, from one of the big box stores, and it had something on the outside of it that seemed like wax.
Mhm.
And I had to get that off of it before I could eat the apple. And I know it wasn't the best apple, but it was yet an apple, and I could eat that after I got whatever that poison was off of it.
Mhm.
Um, and then contend and have to be okay within myself with the genetically modified properties that apple has.
Yeah. So it's like you said, good, best, better. You know, you got all these different stages of fruits that you can be getting, but the ideal is going to be always fresh, uncooked, wholesome fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds that should be eaten in combination, the right combination, and should be eaten when you're in a sound state of mind. That's the best digestion is going to come from that. So, what are a couple of other conditions that's going to help individuals reverse their diseases and suffering, or allow the
Oh, clean
body
air.
to run its course
Let's
of?
let's go clean air, because secondarily to the ideal diet, our clean air is a really big deal. We live in a very polluted zip code. Again, good, better, best. The further you get out into the country, the better the air quality is going to be.
Hmm.
But you live where you live, and sometimes you can't help that. So if you can change that and get to a better quality of air just outside your house, then awesome, do that. But we live in these boxes, and the newer our boxes get, the more energy efficient they are. So they don't let air in or out. So
Right.
it's necessary to make sure that you have proper ventilation in whatever box you're in. If that's at home or if that's at your office, you really need to be getting some fresh air in there and letting the carbon dioxide and whatever other poisons are in there out of there, because we don't think about our air quality in the sense of um, what we use to clean our bathrooms or
Mhm.
vacuum our floors, or
Mhm.
the essential oils that we put in our humidifiers and our plug-ins, and the
Those dangerous.
potpourri, the incense, and things like that 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 taint our air. Because when we talk about pure water and we say that that's distilled, because anything that's in your water makes it no longer water. Air, very much the same way. Um, if you're breathing in contaminants, then your air is then toxic to your body. And a lot of times we're doing it to ourselves
Yeah.
just by, making the room smell better, making the car smell better,
You're right.
things like that.
Suffocating. I seen a dude the other day. I came up to a stoplight, and the guy was in there. He was smoking, and I look over. I see him blow out a whole bunch of smoke in the car, but the windows were up, and he
Mhm.
was just in there chiefing and puffing like crazy. I was like, "Do he realize he hotboxing?" That's what they call
Probably.
hotboxing back in the day.
And and he probably did realize he was doing that, Dr. Frazier.
Yeah, he was killing himself.
Yeah, we make choices.
Yeah, it's no better, faster way to kill yourself than
Yeah.
to, not follow the ways of health. All right. So in the regular practice of medicine, it is not good manners to ask questions, and explanations are never volunteered. You must respect the wisdom of your physician and trust your case in his hands. He is entitled to your confidence and his fees, and you have nothing to do but to follow his prescription and his direction. If you ask what you are taking, he will use his discretion about telling you. Or if he condescends to tell you the truth, you will be little wiser. The common practice of medicine, as with every other kind of charlatanry, is based upon confidence and credulity. Now, this I've seen firsthand with one of my clients today. She was telling me that she was suffering with a certain health issue. And I started breaking it down to her, and I said, "Did they even tell you what this organ in your body is doing, and why is it, having the issue right now? Why is it inflamed?" They said, "No." She said, "I don't know what this is about. They just told me I got this EMA, and I need to, have some surgery." I said, "So you don't know why you got the EMA? You don't know why the EMA is right there in that area and what that area does?" You know what I'm saying? She said, "Well, when I try to ask, he said, just don't worry about that. Leave that to us. We're gonna get you well and good, Like what? Leave that up to you? Come on now. Now we don't have that problem. Cause soon as we go in there and start talking, what you mean? Tell me why we gotta drink distilled water? Why I can't drink water out of the faucet? You know what I mean? Why is fresh air better? Why I can't inhale my incense, and why I can't smoke, and why I can't drink? You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me my wine ain't okay? You mean to tell me what's moderation in drinking a little liquor? You know what I'm saying? What's moderation in a little bit of poison? We go through this all day long. But the medical people, what they tell you is almost law in there. You hear people scared to ask the doctor, "Well, is
That's
there
true.
any other thing that I can do?" There are probably
Yeah.
other treatments that you can do, but you're too scared to ask. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He might say, well, he might even tell you, "Hey, you just need to eat some fruits and vegetables." But since he realized that most people who come to him are not going to change their diet, his first thing is to put you on some type of high blood pressure medicine, some high blood sugar medicine, and some other so-called medicine, because he don't think you have the discipline to do the right thing. So yeah, you ask, "Hey, is there anything that I can do besides doing this?" He might say, well, you can stop eating all that fat back and pigtail and collard greens and neck bones and pig feet, eating the pig feet. I'm not going to get into that. because I saw a picture the other day that was just terrible on Facebook. But anyhow, you know, we can't ask them questions, you know. But in hygiene, the first step towards restoring the body to health is enlightenment of the sick. We got to educate the sick. We're educators of natural hygiene. We teach people wrong lifestyle habits is the cause of their disease. We're telling them, hey, you're killing yourself. You don't even know it. So we're bringing light to their destructive behavior, you know, that's producing their sickness. Now, you know, hey, man, you mean to tell me, is there anything I can do besides fasting? You mean fasting is the only thing I can do to correct this so-called cancer of the stomach? Well, your stomach can't digest anything right now. What's the use of eating?
Right.
Well, is there anything else I can do? Well, you can fast. That's the only thing you can do. You know, if your leg is broke, you saying, well, you need to rest your leg. Well, you mean to tell me there's nothing else I can do but rest my leg? Well, why would you walk on a leg that's broke? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're only as good as the weakest organ in your body. And that's what we tell the people. We show them their weakest part. You know, if you're suffering with even a deranged digestive tract, we're not going to have you running out there, you know, doing a bunch of exercise, because how you're going to feed and nurture your muscles if you're not eating anything. Right. So you need to get rest until your stomach has repaired itself. So we have to be educators. We have to dismissify all the medical mindset that they're going to bring to us, and then give them the true means to health. What do you think about that?
I think that you are definitely the man for the job. And that you are up for that task, because it is a big task. It really just goes back to the truth and telling the truth, you know, telling the truth about how our body is designed, what it does, how it functions, and how to keep it functioning as it was designed. And that is not at the doctor's office. They are not going to give you that there. You know, it's not going to happen. Disease is the cure. And I wish we could call it something besides dis-ease, you know, call it, I don't know what else, but something else, because certain things just won't sink in until it just hurts so bad. And it's my prayer and my plea that people will, before they feel their body, choose health and choose to be healthy and whole.
Well, I want to add two more to this. We got like about 4 minutes, so we got to hurry up and run through these quick. But hygiene is peculiar than any other modality of healthcare, right? Because all other healthcare, they got their favorite books, their favorite poisons, their favorite, well, you don't use the word poison because they might not like me saying that, but their favorite drugs, their favorite remedies. They have all their favorite language. Like you can't even use certain language. It's the medical terminology. You can't use that. You know what I'm saying? That's our word. Don't use our word. You know. So they got their own stuff that even the laymen don't even understand. You know, you go in there, they say, well, you got you having heart pain. Well, it's angina. You know what I'm saying? What? Just say heart pain, man. Using all these Latin terminology, stuff like that. You know, you got to have all this medical terminology when they're telling you your health issue. But if you notice that our teachings are plain for everyone. You know, we're not hiding our books and telling people they can't talk about fresh air, sunlight, and stuff like that. We openly provide them with knowledge and wisdom to help them understand our concepts and principles where they can employ it in their life, where they can actually be healthy. You agree?
I do agree.
Yeah. So this last one, I want you to expound on real quick. We got about 1 minute, so you're going to have to wrap it up in about 1 minute.
Okay.
The hygienist cares for a sick person very much in the same way that he would a well one, or she will a well one.
Nope. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's all you need to expound on. I don't have to read the whole verse for you.
So there's only one body. There's only one body. So be it sick or be it well, it is still the body. And there are 10 ways to health. Employ them always. Employ them always. I was going to say especially when, but if you employ them always, this is so much easier to backtrack when you know that you ate watermelons and pineapples and that's why your stomach is hurting you, as opposed to you have no idea what
That's
you
still a
ate.
violation of law. If you overeat, that's still a violation of law. You have to eat in moderation and in right combination, you know.
And in proper combination, but it's a whole lot easier when you know what the effect, what happened to your body, the reason now it's behaving the way that it is currently behaving, as opposed to playing some guessing game. The body is the body. So if you're healthy, employ the 10 ways to health. If you are sick, employ the 10 ways of health in order to then be well.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much, Michaela, for joining in. You know they're going to be looking for you next week, so make sure you be on point.
I will be here.
We need you here. You got sound wisdom. We thank all our listeners for tuning in. Make sure you come back and invite a friend with you the next week. We got a bunch of valuable information to help you guide yourself into a more holistic health and healing concept. So best of health, and we'll see you next week from Savannah Natural Health. Go and look me up, heal.me/FF. And we'll talk to you next week. Have a blessed week.
like this.